so we have a very exciting review today as we're talking about the upcoming Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always. As someone who's a child of the 90s, I have always held a special place in my heart for the Power Rangers franchise, religiously tuning into the series from basically the Mighty Morphin era all the way through Mystic Force. That was when I kind of fell off for the franchise. The Disney era wasn't particularly my favorite, but I have come back around since then and watched all the seasons I missed all the way up to Dino Fury. But the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers era of this series is iconic, so I'm glad that we're getting this 30th anniversary special on Netflix. Set 30 years after the formation of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, they're called upon once again into action as they come face to face once again with a returning Rita Repulsa. Seeing as we live in an era that's heavily rooted in nostalgia, you always run the risk anytime you bring back a classic IP that the results will be disappointing. And with a special like this, it is kind of tough to take off the nostalgia goggles because I hold the franchise so near and dear to my heart and my childhood, but I do think this special, Once and Always, is fantastic. It truly feels like a love letter for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fans and respects the legacy in so many different ways, while also paving the way for an exciting new path forward for these characters. Packed from start to finish with awesome Power Rangers moments, it's amazing seeing all these characters back together on screen for a new yet familiar adventure. Sure, over the years we have seen some of these cast members return to the franchise, but they still managed to perfectly step back into the shoes of these characters, and one of the better parts of this as a longtime fan of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers era, we get to see what some of these characters have been up to that we have not seen in an extremely long time, like Aisha and Zack in particular. We haven't seen Zack since the very beginning of the franchise. While I do think everyone was giving it their all with their performances, I think Walter Jones is the major standout of the entire cast. In this special, he showcases tons of range as this parental type figure for Trini's daughter, while also trying to lead the Rangers with Billy. Plus, it was also satisfying to see him step back into the role of the Black Ranger and even showcase some of his hip-hop Kido that we saw in the original series. Even after all of these years, Billy Cranston pretty much feels like the exact same character. David Yost did a pretty good job keeping the character in line from what we saw back in like Power Rangers Zeo. Even if predominantly the focus of this adventure is around Billy, Zack, and Min, I loved how much Kat and Rocky were included in the adventure and the clever way that they allow them to get in on the Power Ranger action with everyone. Not entirely sure how it would make sense in the context of the lore of the franchise, because it isn't our first rodeo in terms of seeing the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers powers return for some of these characters, but in the context of the special, it's pretty cool how they are able to be in it along with many other Rangers. If you're going into this expecting a lot of Power Rangers action, you're going to be leaving very satisfied. This special has a plethora of in-suit Power Ranger fights. It literally opens up with an epic 6-Ranger battle, and there are some other battles sprinkled in that also are just as amazing, especially the final battle. There's definitely a lot more in-suit Power Ranger action in this than your typical Mighty Morphin Power Rangers episode. At the core of this Netflix special, that's pretty much what this feels like, a more action-packed, bigger budget episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Following the standard formula for the franchise, attempting to stop Robo Rita and the evil minions' plans, but this also tackles more serious subject matter, given that we watch the Rangers try and cope with the guilt brought on by the death of one of their own early on, losing Trini, which hits on a lot of different levels emotionally, between the actual passing of Twee Trang and the passing of Jason David Frank. The loss of both of them does weigh heavy while you're watching this special, but I think that the elements introduced with Trini's passing in the context of the series, I think it's done in a respectful manner, especially due to the way that we continue on Trini's legacy with her daughter that's introduced in this special named Min. Charlie Kirsch does a solid job as Trini's daughter Min. She's brave, fiery, ready to tackle any obstacle, but also she's young and stubborn, choosing to not listen to Zack or Billy, focusing solely on revenge for her mother, and having to learn the values to become a hero, so it's a very satisfying journey watching her throughout the special with a great payoff to it. And with where we leave off with her, Zack, and Billy, I think this is just the beginning as far as seeing her character pop up in the franchise. Like any good nostalgic special should do, I loved all the different clever ways they were able to incorporate references, Easter eggs, etc. for longtime fans of the franchise, from the juice bar, Billy's car, familiar faces on ads, even winks and nods to a lot of the other Power Rangers franchises. Even if one of the big Easter eggs kind of bums me out a bit because it showcases something that Robo Rita is doing off screen that I really would have loved to have seen showcased in the special, but the special is very much focused on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, not all these other franchises that we've seen in the Power Rangers series. Now let's talk about the villain of this special. Rita Repulsa is back, kinda, sorta. It's Robo Rita. There is an explanation for why she's evil in the special, and it's kinda wild. I don't want to give away anything about the reasoning why she's back and she's evil, but it's a pretty weird explanation. Her plan itself, also not that interesting. It could have been a lot better, but I mean, it's a typical standard villain of the week type plan, really. The best part about Rita returning in the special truly is Barbara Goodson returning to voice Rita in this. It gives it that authentic Rita flavor. Something I consider a pro and a con to the special is the runtime. It's 55 minutes. It doesn't overstay its welcome whatsoever, but because of that short runtime, there are not really a lot of moments for things to breathe. The pacing of the special is uber fast. We're bouncing from location to location all of the time, and I just wish there was more time to marinate on certain moments in the special, especially as far as dealing with the more emotional elements to the story, like the Rangers dealing with the loss of Trini. Still, regardless, it's such a fun time watching this as a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fan. The Power Rangers action in this is amazing from start to finish, and we end with this big electric Megazord battle that only feels kind of slightly weird because it's CGI and not actual like miniatures and all that stuff like we're used to from the classic 90s series. It's definitely jarring to see the Megazord in CGI. All in all, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always is a lovely nod to the legacy of Power Rangers, perfectly paying tribute to the Power Rangers and Trini's legacy. It's a love letter for the fans, bringing back these characters once again, and with how things end in this special, I don't think that we're finished here. This definitely feels like the beginning of something new, bringing back the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on Netflix. I think it has potential to continue on Netflix in some shape or form. Make sure you also stick around for the credits for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers special, as there is an amazing tribute to Twee Trang and Jason David Frank, and an epic new updated version of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers opening credits. That also was very amazing. But now you've heard my thoughts on the special. Make sure you share your thoughts down below. What do you think of this special, this anniversary special for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? Did you like the special? Did you not like the special? Share all your thoughts down below in the comment section. Part of the fun is having that conversation with you guys in the comment section down below. Thank you guys, as always, chat reviews. I always do appreciate it. Be sure to like on the video, and also subscribe to the channel so you update reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. The next time, I'll see you guys later.